Christy K Expressions 111. Always talking girly talk, faith talk, and just expressing health is a new wealth. And if you want it, you're going to find it here. So today, I'm just going to be talking about, why do we attend church? Is it to show off a new outfit? Is it to communicate and fellowship with an adopted group of people that we've met? Or are we actually going to obtain something to help evolve us into the person that God always has destined for us to be, even when we were in our parents' womb? So I'm going to start reading from James, the chapter 1 and verse 22. So it starts, it says, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving our own selves." Verse 22, verse 23. "For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass." So if we're listening to a good word, they're pouring fire, the mantle is being released off on us, and we leave back out the same way, then that means we're doing exactly what he said not to do, right? This scripture is saying basically, don't just be sitting there hearing it, but then you're not a doer. They poured out how we can change and how we can do this and how we can do that, but then we go back out the same way, harboring the same things, thinking the same way, doing the same things like what God has instructed us. "For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, it is like a man beholding his natural face in glass." We don't want to do that. That means stagnation. We're not changing. We're just sitting there. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. That's not who we want to be. So if we're going, that definitely means we need to be hearing it and acting on it. Because it's kind of like a slap in our Father's face if we just going to be doing, the same thing over and over again. We're not only fooling ourselves, as it said, we just doing something, and that's religion. Religion is just going and coming back and forth, going and coming back and forth, and there's no real change in it. The next thing I want to talk about is Galatians 5 and verse 22, where it's talking about the fruit of the Spirit. "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. Meekness, temperance, against such there is no law." That's something else. Definitely wanting to make sure that I am producing the correct fruit. So they were talking about that in church yesterday too, that you want to make sure that you are producing fruit. And I definitely do. So that's one of the biggest reasons I go, is to make sure that my soul is changing, that I'm changing, I'm fixing those layers of myself that I've carried for years. I am renewing my mind, renewing my heart, renewing my soul, and I'm not afraid to let anything die out of me. I'm not afraid to let my flesh die. Things where, I want to keep doing or saying, but no, yesterday when they released and spoke so much this is about 2 weeks, because the last week we had conference and I received everything I needed, and this week here was another convicting word. So God has been on a roll with giving us what we needed in our church. So, just making sure that I'm just not going, but I see the change. I see the fruit, different things. Knowing that when you leave out that door, you have that joy on you. You have that love on you. That long suffering that you've been dealing with after you left out, they showed you some ways that you can deal with that long suffering. They've taught you how to get through that long suffering. And so you know how to deal with it. So now that you got that fruit of the Spirit, you can have that goodness in your heart. You can have that gentleness spirit. Somebody can touch you. Somebody can say something to you. You're gentle. You have that faith that can move mountains. You have everything you need because you are producing the right fruit. Not saying that I have all the fruit, because I want to keep bearing good fruit. I am producing fruit in some areas, but I want to produce all fruit. So what that means is that's why I got to keep attending church, because when I attend church, it's like I'm in a therapy session. I'm getting fueled up like I'm at the gas station, like I'm getting everything I need. Everything I need. I want every time I go for me to get everything I need. And that's so like every time I go, like it's something poured into me that makes me evolve into a better person. I don't want anything stagnated on me. I don't want to think the same way. I don't want to act the same way. I don't want nothing to stop me from being who God has destined me to be. And definitely not spiritual pride or anything. So that was just something that I wanted to share. Like, why do we really go to church? And that's a reason why I attend church.